and today my second hello for you. Today we're talking about Hogwarts Legacy. This is much hyped, much talked about, much agile about big open world Harry Potter. Game that has been in the works for many years now. Remember back when it leaked and then we did not hear about it again. For a long time that was crazy anyway. As usual, spoil here are our first impressions as we have gotten a review code, but we are able to get about 25 hours in and wanted to give you guys two heads up since people are already dropping cash on this, and this footage was captured on PlayStation 5 and it is spoiler free. I'm happy to report that Hogwarts Legacy is a really solid open world action adventure game. I think the more jaded gamer will find some stuff that have done a million times before in other games and maybe roll their eyes here and there. But I think Harry Potter fans that have been waiting for like the end all be all with game. I think this is pretty drawn close. I think the developers that worked on this game took the Harry Potter franchise and ran with it, giving us new things and expansions way more exciting than even the more recent spin-off movies. In my opinion, How to Game is a bit glitchy, but it's also charming and really fun. It distinctly feels like a Warner Bros. Open world game. If that makes sense, not like Gotham Knights, I didn't really like that game. I think more like Arkham Knight, Mad Max or the Middle-earth Shadow games, but like way bigger in almost every sense. So where it starts your 5th year transfer student, it's a great jumping off point to kind of experience it as new through the character's eyes, and I'll also not be like little baby kid. You are right in the middle and you are under the tutelage here of a professor who has supposed to get you up to speed with other 5th years and get wakes it up in a much bigger adventure that involves way more than just going to school and learning how to make potions or whatever. You create your own character, any type of person. You want total freedom, which is nice, but the face options feel a bit awkward and limited the way that's implemented, and keep in mind like total freedom but like in the realm of realism, so you cannot make a bug-eyed alien person or anything with sliders. It's not bad so because there's a lot of loot, and that's when the custom character stuff really shines, like where you can really express yourself. One thing to note, you can choose your voice pitch. So from my character's signs, I know I will be honest, I have a bit of an annoying voice in real life. I decided to kind of up the pitch by one point, like the game lets you, and it resulted in a very teeny modulated sounding voice, so be warned and be careful with the voice choices here because the character does talk quite a bit. Now you trust through a really cool intro and then you slowly get into the flow of the game missions. Everything is missions classes are kind of just side objectives or story missions that are part of the flow, so the game is not broken into like a school thing every day. So if you weren't paying attention, I'm sorry. If you were looking for like a Persona or bullet type school simulator, this is not quite. It's still because class moments are interesting, the new professors are pretty decent, and the game actually established a roster of students, like a cast of characters that you get to know throughout the game. You hear about them, you learn about them, you meet them, you talk to them, you see them in the halls, you see them during cutscenes, and yeah, now within Hogwarts itself is where a lot of games mechanics are slowly introduced to you in a pretty digestible way. It's all tracked out the main element. Of course, so with the spells, and I think there are about 16 to learn and unlock, and they have various uses between exploration and combat. So let's talk about combat. This was the thing I was the most worried about when the game was like announced and revealed and shown off. It was hard to tell how it really I felt, or if it was fun, or if it made sense. I mean, as much sense as it can. It's magic fighting with sticks, but I'm happy that the combat is fairly decent and can sometimes be challenging. Tapping the trigger is like a strike button, like you're just doing jabs, basically hitting your opponents with the magic blast. It gets pretty quickly, unfortunately, but you're doing that really to manage things between cooldowns of your other spells. Then the map it to the face buttons. This is where you can build combos, say soften them up with a couple of whacks, then use a spell to lift them up in the air, making them vulnerable for more damage, then hit them with a couple of more and then use a seer or something other. So I think it's a very good project for you, and I recommend it. Goodbye.